This video today is going to be the start of a new series that I want to do on this channel where I read books that I have been avoiding. Each vlog in this series is going to be about a book that has been on my TBR for months or years that I have been avoiding for various reasons. Starting off, this video is going to be me reading The Favorites by Layne Fargo. The reason I've been avoiding this book is because I feel like it's going to consume my life and I just want to be in the right frame of mind when I start this book, and I feel like today is the time. This book has been described to be a mix of Daisy Jones and the Six meets Tessa and Scott, the Canadian figure skaters. Daisy Jones and the Six is one of my favorite books. I enjoyed the show as well, and I did go through a period of time where I was obsessed with Tessa and Scott's number of Moulin Rouge from the 2018 Olympics. This just feels like a book that was made in a lab just for me to enjoy. I remember when this book first came out, I read the description, but I don't think I'm going to go into this with a refresher of that. I think I'm just going to start the book and figure it out as I go along. I don't know how to read a book and then not tell you what happens in it, so it's gonna have spoilers. I have it on my Kindle and an audiobook version, so let's get started. I stopped reading at chapter 15. I like how short the chapters are. It feels like I'm reading a lot. I cannot stand books with long chapters, so I'm enjoying this so far. I have my notes here. The book opens with an altercation between her and her brother Lee. He's abusive and he's an alcoholic, and he's just not been treating her well. I also forgot that this was a Wuthering Heights retelling. I don't know if it's a retelling or if it's just inspired by the story, but I don't know what happens at Wuthering Heights, so that means nothing to me. This book is done in an interview style, which that's where the comparison to Daisy Jones and the Six comes in a little bit. The format flips back and forth between the past with Katarina's point of view, kind of explaining what's going on, and then it switches to the documentary and it has interviews from people that were involved with Kat and Heath. Their coaches there, people that they used to practice with are there. So anyways, Heath was in and out of foster care, and he got into skating because he entered a free sports program, and that's where he meets Kat. And to keep him skating with Kat, she asked her father to become his legal guardian. I just read the part where they've been at nationals and they didn't do too great. They didn't place where they wanted to. At the end of it, Kat is approached by Sheila Lynn, who is her idol. She is the skater that Kat wants to be just like. In this conversation, Sheila offers Kat and Heath spots in her summer ice skating program at her ice skating academy in California. So they've been saving up money. They've been selling things that are sentimental to them because they need to pay their way into this program. So they're in this program now, and they're surrounded by other skaters, including Isabel and Garrett, who are twins, and they are also Sheila's children. So the story is setting them up to be Kat and Heath's rivals. Garrett is kind of the chill twin. He doesn't really have a problem with them, but Isabella clearly does not like the two. That's what I've read so far. I'm 20% in, so it's going by pretty fast. I'm gonna keep reading tonight and then I'll update tomorrow. I stopped reading at chapter 24. Sheila throws a 4th of July party every year, and it's also the only holiday these skaters get off during their summer program. Kat's excited to do this because she thinks it's an opportunity to get into the skating crowd and kind of network, and Heath doesn't want to do this. He has been moping around most of the time. You can tell that he is not in it as much as Kat is. Ella and Kat kind of come to a truce and they decide that they are going to be friends now. Kat turns 18 and she is finally allowed to go and get the money that her dad left behind. But as she opens up the account, she finds out that Lee took all the money that was in it. So she is now broke, and Heath also doesn't have any money. They were banking on having the money that her dad left behind, and now that they don't have it, they are scared because they don't know how they're going to pay for skating after this. But Garrett offers Kat an opportunity to do a modeling job with him, but she doesn't end up telling Heath that she's doing this modeling job. She knows that if she tells Heath that they no longer have the money that her dad left behind, that will kind of make him spiral, so she wants to keep this hush hush. She also knows that Heath will not be happy if she's doing modeling jobs with Garrett, so she ends up not telling them that they're doing this modeling job together, but she ends up getting a good sum of money out of it. They end up in this competition in Japan. They're walking and they turn and they see the billboard of Garrett and Kat, and that's when Heath finds out that she had been modeling behind his back. And Heath is very upset by this because she didn't lie, but she withheld the truth from him. And to retaliate, I guess, Heath doesn't give his all in the competition, and they end up placing not where they want to place. And now the connection between Kat and Heath isn't looking too good right now. Heath is very possessive with Kat, and I kind of can't fault him because the way that he grew up, he had like nothing but her. So it makes sense why he acts this way, but you can tell that it's going to lead to like destruction in the future. I also am kind of confused because I don't think in the interviews, like the documentary in present day, I don't think Bella has been answering the questions. I don't think she's there giving the interview yet, or maybe I just missed it. But they're talking about her in a very ominous way. So I'm like, did they kill her? Like, did Kat kill her? Like, what happened to this girl? And I think one of the lines in the interview was like, Kat and Bella were best friends until they weren't. Like, what do you mean? And then Bella is nowhere to be seen? Like, where is she? Is she dead? Okay, so after their bad performance, Bella takes Kat out to eat and she confesses to her that Bella and Garrett no longer have to skate together the next season. They are splitting up and they're going to be able to find different partners to skate with. They think that's going to help them compete better. So Bella already has someone in mind, and Garrett is thinking about asking Kat to be his partner. And Ellis and Kat are having a conversation. Ellis is another skater and he's messy. He asked Kat, like, do you think you can be where you want to be with Heath as your partner? And she answers no. He is listening in on their conversation, and once he hears that, he just leaves. And when I mean leaves her, I mean like he drops off the face of the earth. He ends up even filing a missing persons report, but since he's of age, they can't do anything about it. Like, she does not know where this man is. Garrett does end up approaching Kat to be his partner, and since Heath is nowhere to be found, she starts skating with him. So for the past few years, Garrett and her have been skating together and they've been doing very well. Bella and her partner Zach have not been doing the best because he is injured. Garrett and Kat end up going to Worlds, and she spots Heath in the crowd for like a split second and then he's gone again. Kat says something at the end of, I think, chapter 27 I'm on. They just won the world championship. She says that Bella is going to be really upset that they won. And I think that Bella is going to seek out Heath to become her skating partner. And since Heath is obviously still upset that Kat kind of abandoned him, he is going to accept Bella's offer to skate with him. That's the only thing that I can think of that is going to cause an even bigger rift between Heath and Kat, but also Bella and Kat's relationship. So that's where I think the story is going. Oh, guys. End of the year, New Year's Eve party where everyone in the ice skating academy goes and skates. It's just supposed to be for fun. It's like a gala or whatever. Bella and Heath end up performing one of Sheila's most like famous skates. Kat knows it like it's the back of her hand. As stated before, Sheila is like her icon. So she always imagined herself skating to this routine with Heath. And you know what they do at the end of this routine? Heath bends down. It's so evil. Heath leans down and kisses Bella. If I saw my ex best friend and my ex boyfriend doing the routine that I have dreamed to do my whole life, and then they share a kiss at the end of it, oh yeah. The thing about it is, like, I understand why he was mad before. I really do. But he keeps insisting that Kat left him when that's not really what happened. He left her and then ghosted her for 3 years. And she was actively looking for him. And then to come back, become partners with her best friend, and skate in a way that you know is going to upset her. It's actually dark and demented. I don't know. No. Tea. This is interesting. Very interesting development. So, at that New Year's Eve party, Heath and Katarina are in an elevator together. They almost have a kiss, but Katarina like escapes and she runs away from him. She goes down to the beach where she encounters Ellis and Garrett kissing. So now we know that Garrett is gay. I just read the part of the book where they are about to compete at nationals, right? And they are practicing their free skate where everyone is kind of on the ice right now doing warm-ups, and Bella just collided with Katarina, so I assume that she's not going to be able to perform in this nationals, which is going to create an even bigger divide between the two. Well, the four, really. Okay, well, just kidding. They do decide to skate, even though Kat definitely has a concussion, and Garrett and her end up slipping, and Katarina falls in the ice and hits her head. Katarina is literally bleeding out on the ice, and oh, look who it is. After Kat's injury, Keith goes with her to the hospital, leaving Bella. So Bella can't perform because her partner is with Kat, and Kat can't perform, obviously, so Garrett is out of partner too. So both pairs are not in the competition, and neither of them will get a chance to go to the Olympics. Kat and Heath decide that they're going to go back to their childhood home to kind of regroup. So weeks go by, and Kat is healing, but Bella and Garrett show up at their house to kind of apologize. They make up, but Bella does say that she is going to be skating with her brother again, and Kat and Heath are now going to be partners. The new season has started, and Kat and Heath have been trying to get back into the rhythm of them skating together again. So Sheila has been putting more focus on the twins because they are able to work together better. Sheila has been dictating what Kat and Heath perform, but they know if they change up the routine, they can do better. So at one of the competitions that they're in, they decide that they are going to do the number that they came up with, and they end up winning. After their win in Paris, they went out celebrating, and in the morning, Kat calls Sheila, and obviously Sheila's upset. And Sheila is basically like, if you don't want to follow my instructions, you don't have to skate for me. Kat agrees, and they part ways, so they're no longer in the Layne Ice Academy. So they just finished performing, right? And they had a great performance, and they think that they're going to be picked to go to nationals, right? And she can tell that Heath is kind of in a strange position, and she looks down, and he's gazing up at her with the diamond ring. The thing is, I want to love it so bad, and I do. There's this doom that's lingering in the back of my head because obviously something happens between these two. That's why they don't skate together anymore. They don't talk to each other. So I'm like, okay, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Y'all are having fun. I'm having fun. But I know there's something that happens. I do find it strange that he is not telling her where he had gone for those 3 years where they didn't speak to each other or see each other. I just don't know what it could possibly be. Kat and Heath are kind of hitting another rough patch, mainly because the performance of their relationship to the public has kind of caught up to them, and they realize that they are kind of going through the motions. I have a theory, but nothing has prompted this in the story so far. I've just been looking for things that could be the downfall of these two people. And the only thing that's coming to mind is that since Kat and Heath have hit a bit of a rough patch in their relationship, I don't even want to say it. What if he and Bella hook up? To me, that would be the thing that does it. So I'll either be right or I'll be wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. So the article claims that Heath left the competition in Japan and went to Veronika Volkova, which is one of their biggest competitors. Says that when he went to Russia, he told them everything about Katarina and the Lens and the Ice Academy. For some reason, I was expecting a lot worse. I'm never wrong. Kat is upset. Makes sense for what he did. She kind of sobers up while she's on this balcony, and she knows that she still wants to talk to Heath at least. If not stay together, she knows that she wants to talk to him about the situation. So she goes back to the room. He's with someone. I don't know who it is though, because I haven't clicked the page, but we're gonna find out, even though I know who it is. I know who it is. It was Bella. I'm not surprised. Are you? The initial betrayal happened where they found out that Heath was practicing with the Russian team. I was like, okay, bad, yes, not the worst he could have done. I feel like they could have talked about it afterwards, but I knew there was something else coming, and this was it. He swears up and down that he loves her and that he would never do anything wrong to her, yada yada yada, but he has kind of been in the wrong for the majority of their relationship to me. This is so juicy. This actually really does remind me of not so much Daisy Jones in the Six. Well, yeah, kind of. I understand that comparison, but I think if anything, it reminds me of Carrie Soto is Back more, just because of the female characters being so driven by their ambition to be great. After Kat finds out about Heath and Bella, she storms immediately to Sheila Lynn's hotel room. This is where she finds out that Sheila is actually the one that released the tell-all article right before they go on to skate. I don't know, I kind of like Sheila. Obviously, she didn't do a good thing, but I really like when people write women like this because I just find them to be so interesting. I like when books have characters like this in general where they are bad. They do bad things because it's just so much more interesting and enjoyable to read about. And I think with the backdrop of sports makes stories like this so juicy. That's why people love challengers. That's why people like challengers. She was also the one that sent Heath to Russia. Sheila, okay. I love a cutthroat woman. I don't know, something about it. Like, she really was like, I'm going to set them up for failure. It's like, what would a parent do to ensure their kid's success? I don't know. I kind of understand it. A little bit of time has passed, and Sheila passes away. It turns out that she had cancer but was keeping it a secret and just carrying on with her life. And at this point, no one had seen Kat in 3 years, I think. I can't remember the exact number, but I think it's 3 years. No one had seen her, but Heath calls her and tells her that the funeral is happening. She goes to the funeral and she ends up speaking. She has a short speech about her experience with Sheila. It's not the nicest. It's not mean either. It's just very honest. She ends up leaving immediately after the funeral and going back to her house. But the next morning after the funeral, Bella is there at her door. They kind of hash out their issues. It's been years, so everything that went down with them and Heath is not as fresh, and they're able to speak about it. Bella and Heath did have a little bit of a thing after Katerina ghosted everyone for those years, but they're just friends now. She tells Kat that Heath misses her and that it could still possibly work out for them to compete in the next Olympics. They're about to compete, and this competition will get them a place in the Olympics or not, if, depending on how well they do. And Bella gets sick, like something is wrong with her, and they have to go to the hospital. So they withdraw from the competition and they go and help Bella instead. And then she realizes that Bella is pregnant and the child is Heath's. It's kind of making me queasy. They're in Sochi, Russia, and they're about to compete, but they have been sabotaged in multiple ways before competing. People have put thorns in their skates, and Katerina has stepped in them, so she's now injured. Somebody sent them flowers with fake blood in it, and they also broke into their room and ruined their outfits. I think I know what's about to happen. They keep mentioning pills because Katerina's hurt, so she needs painkillers. I think the drugs are switched, so maybe there will be like a doping scandal. They just finished performing at the Olympics, and now Heath is coughing up blood. If they let this man die, I'm giving this book 1 star. I'm not even kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm done with the book, so now I'm just going to give a quick recap of the ending. So Katerina finds out that Francesca is sabotaging them, and she suspects that something has gone down with the pills. She tells Heath all this, but it's too late because they both have already taken the pills. They decide to go out and skate anyways, just to prove it to themselves. They go out and do their performance, and it's like the best they've skated this whole entire time. They know that they're going to win this competition, but at the end of it, Heath kind of collapses and he starts coughing up blood. The pills have caught up to him, and now he's in critical condition, so they rush to the hospital. For a second there, I did think that he was gonna die, but false alarm, he's okay. So when Heath is in the hospital, they test his blood. They know that Heath has a substance in his body that's not allowed for competing. They just can't tell what it is, and no one is believing Katerina's side that Francesca had a hand in this. So the powers that be end up stripping their gold medal from them, but it's not too sad because Katerina and Heath and the world kind of knows that they deserve their Olympic win, so they get to go home at least knowing that. They go back to California in time for Bella to give birth. Heath is now a dad, which is something that he always wanted to be. All three of them go back to Illinois. Bella opens up a skating academy and they all coach there. Years have passed. Bella and Heath have been co-parenting. Heath and Katerina are still together, and this was kind of the best outcome for all of them. I ended up giving this book 4.5 stars. I'm allergic to giving 5 stars. Sorry. That's where it's gonna sit. I do wish we got a little bit more of Heath's perspective because I feel like
that would have rounded out the story a little bit more. That's one of my only complaints. I just wish we got a little bit more of where he was coming from. But yeah, I like this book. This is the end of the video. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want, you can subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.